Okay, this is my second video on January 5th. I want to talk about some things that through some meditation that I have kind of come to that I'm like, whoa, after, doing some research and listening to some people speak, they talked about water. And although I've been concentrating on my diet and exercise and all these things, but like really what we forget about so often is the water. And it's 70% of our constitution. It's what makes us up, and it's what we need to consume to live. I mean, we can live without food, but not water. And I was really looking at it a different way. After, over 4 years living on well water, I think we were pretty lucky. Now we're in an apartment complex where we're on city water once again, which we were for most of my life. And I've gone through ups and downs of buying water, the containers that it's in and all these things. It's like a struggle with the plastic and like what to do. And then reflecting back and listening to some of the more ancient cultures and what they did, and India is one of them, that they used to get water from their source and let it sit overnight for 24 hours and let it settle for the changes in the memory that water has. And not a chemical memory, but a molecular memory of one of the things they were talking about was when water comes from its source to you and it goes through these bends and turns and twists, and it's been cleaned and processed and turned over and all these things that when it comes down to it, when you drink it, it's like really angry and upset, and it's shook around, and then we're consuming all that, and it has to settle within us. And so our body has to work to settle that within us. And so thinking of that, I have slowly started appropriating water in glass, and then through my next payday, I hope, to get the copper, because I'm really, really believing the healing properties of copper, and just go ahead and storing my water in that. And some cultures say blessings over it and think about it and thank the water. And these are all ancient rituals that have been going on forever. And then somehow the more educated, the more intelligent our society became, we did less of these things. We don't become thankful. We don't take a moment to reflect. And so at the beginning of the year, water is going to be my focus, my really concentrating on where my water comes from and the sources of my water, and making sure I can consume the purest form of it. And my two big moves are that I'm bringing it into my home and letting it rest, thanking, being kind to it, or blessing it, or whatever verbiage works. I know the ritual that I will do for it, and maybe I'll make a little video of that for myself or my kids to look at later, but definitely really focusing on water. And I know when I did my Kundalini, health was like my word. It's been my word for 2 years, really concentrating on my health. And this year, the focus will really be water. And I had used the word in one of our exercises as patience. And I really thought it was patience for like each other, but I really think the patience is towards myself and the slow changes to go through. I mean, as I really delve into like Ayurveda, I'm looking at myself and trying to pull away to re-change who I am on a molecular level, with not dyeing my hair anymore, not using products on my skin where it absorbs in, really sticking to this 3 to 5 ingredient rule. And I really want to stick to 3 as opposed to 5. Just the lotion. I mean, when you really think about what you start putting on your body, I mean, that was easier to zeroing it down to like the oil. I'm still a little challenged on the soap. I have a soap coming that's a seaweed based, and the only ingredients is seaweed. So I'm kind of looking forward, seaweed and water, of course. Looking forward to like making those moves to really simplify what my body is touching and absorbing, all the way down to the smallest thing. I'm not gonna lie, makeup is gonna be a hard one for me. But by the end of this year, I do wear a foundation, I do wear lipstick, I do wear eyeshadow and mascara. So I'm really looking at taking that down, at least those 4 things, to maybe even a lesser level. Like I stopped using a highlighter, which I don't use anymore. The blush I use as an eyeshadow, so it's like, the same product at least. And now as I go forward, kind of researching maybe kinder products and focusing in on what I consume to also lend to my skin and the way to feel good about myself as far as beauty is concerned in my eye, to myself, and being the kindest to myself I can. And it's a really difficult transition. Every day I look at my hair, because I've only been like a platinum blonde or there various degrees of my whole life since I was a little kid when it was natural, all the way up until I stopped dyeing it about 6 months ago. So I guess the patience is really focusing in on being patient with myself and change. I say to people all the time, you can't take a 10-mile walk in the woods and get out in 10 minutes, and so I should possibly heed my own advice. All right, I'm off. I'm gonna sing a couple of protection mantras and